Okay, so we know that reading to kids is important and we want to have opportunities to read books with our children, but let's be honest, most kids do not want to sit still on our laps while we read page after page of a traditional book. That's why we have to be creative when getting young preschoolers excited about reading books and introducing books to them. Here are a few ideas to get your preschoolers excited about reading and engaged with books. Find books that are interactive, like this one, that have flaps that you can lift. Now I know kiddos are rough on flaps and sometimes people are afraid that they're going to tear them off, but this can be a book that you read together. This one is a great example because it has lots of different pictures and then flaps. This one is about opposites, so hot and cold. You can interact with your preschooler. You can ask them, what do you think the opposite of first is? And then show, oh, it's last, and then talk about the different people. Another great tip is to have a plush that goes along with the book. When preschoolers are able to hold the character in their hand while you're reading, they're more likely to listen to the story. It's also fun for them to try to act it out. Nibbles is a favorite at our house. We like to take Nibbles and reenact the story with our own storybooks at home. It's just a really great way to keep kids engaged while we're reading to them. Another great idea is find books that talk to your kids. This is a great example. It has cards that come in and out. When you push the picture, it speaks the word that's underneath it, so kids can work on their shapes and letters and sounds and things like that. I love the idea of cuddling up with a book right before bedtime, but I also like the idea of bringing books with us when we're out and about during our day. Find books that show pictures of things that you're going to see throughout your day. For example, if you live in a place like mine, we have construction all over, and so we love to look through the big book of big machines, and it just goes through and gives us the names and the function of all these different machines, which is great if you're in the middle of the city or you're going to be driving in the car and you can see the different machines and try to match them up. Hey, can you find any of these machines while we're driving in the car? So it's a great way for kids to have books with them that they're looking out the window trying to match up. We also have books with food. If you're going to go to the grocery store, you can look at all the different pictures of food and try to match them up. A way to just engage with your kid. If you're going someplace special, find a book to match. We went to the aquarium this summer, and this was a really great one for us to look at beforehand to talk about different animals that might be, different fish and things that might be at the aquarium. And then on the way, we had it with us and we brought it inside to look through while we were going through the aquarium to see how many of the things we could find. So kids love flashlights. Our Shine-a-Light books are another perfect way to get your child engaged while you're reading with them. So they're not just sitting and listening, but they're actually helping with the story. In our flashlight books, each page is going to ask a question, and then when the child shines a flashlight behind the page, it will reveal the hidden answer. So this is fun. You can read the books to your kids while they're shining the flashlight behind the pages. It helps them so they don't just have to sit still, but they get to also be active in the reading process. Also, if your kiddos don't want to sit still for you to read to them, have them read to you. You can do this with any book, of course, having them create a story as you go through, but I especially love the books that are created for that. So this one is called You Choose, and there are several books like this. And in this book, it just asks, if you could live anywhere, where would you live? If you could go anywhere, where would you go? Who would be in your family? What kind of house would you stay in? And it just goes through, and so your kids and your whole family can create their story as they go through. It's an opportunity for them to have a new story every time they tell it. It's a chance to be silly and creative and have story time with your children. Even if you aren't reading paragraphs, you're having conversations about the pictures in the book. This is so important. Children need to hear 30,000 words a day, and I don't know about you, but no, stop that and put that down. I probably say 30,000 times a day, but I want my kids to get other words and other vocabulary, and reading books is a great way, even if you're just talking about the pictures and answering questions. You're also showing kids that books have value. You don't just need to flip the pages, but to stop and look inside because there's something valuable on all of the pages. This is going to help them in the future when they do need to read the words to find the value. So try one of these tips with your preschooler today, and I guarantee you'll have your kids saying, "What? That's so cool!"